What's good, guys? GJ recap. Oh, let's go to the 4 hour. Alright, guys, we left off on the 12th. Right there. Alright, so let's start off by putting our support and resistance. This being our resistance. Put that red. And this being our support. Cool. Lot of consolidation, guys. A lot of consolidation. So right here. So we are on the 1 hour. We're going to start this from scratch. So we do have like a little trend line here. One bounce, two bounce. So I wouldn't really consider this, a valid Fibonacci short, even though it did play out. Would not consider that a valid Fibonacci short, even though it did hit take profit for at least 75 pips. Let's highlight the zone, make it green. Let's go see what it looks like on the 15-minute. And look at that. On the 15-minute, it did look valid. Remember, we always look 15, 30-minute, 1 hour time. We always try to look at all time frames as much as possible. So on the 15-minute, we did have market structure being broken to the downside, which we had our Fibonacci retracement right here that did hit take profit for. And we did have some continuation. Right here. Boom, for our third bounce. Remember, our third bounce is lethal for take profit for. We did break market structure to the downside again. So we could have had multiple entries off this right here. I don't even know where to draw a wick here, honestly. So much consolidation. So we're just going to go from top to bottom. Boom. So you guys can see another clean entry from our other clean entry that hit take profit for. So you had about 2-3 opportunities there. So we do have market structure being broken to the upside because we created new higher highs right here. And as you guys can see, this right here on the 4 hour was kind of like a little supply and demand zone. Sorry guys, I was looking at a text message. So right here we do have like a little supply and demand zone right here. Does kind of lead back to here. Very choppy week, guys. Very choppy week. So we do have a little form of supply and demand. Let's go back to the 1 hour. And boom. clean entry. Take profit for smash for 57 pips. So let's try to draw a trend line here. This is our resistance. As you guys see, we got rejected by this resistance. So we were looking for confluences to the downside. Wouldn't really recommend this as the, this as the push, because it's really not. This was considered the push. Really not a wick. But as you guys can see, we did play out. Clean entry. And could have rolled this down to our trend line QP for 33 pips. Stops to break even. As you can see, we broke under this trend line and then we retested it right there. So that was pretty clean also. Let's highlight the zone. See what it looks like on the 15-minute. $15-minute, not looking too well, to be honest. We did have market structure being broken to the downside right here, which we had us clean entries as well with our 1 hour. So here we go on the 15-minute. We do have market structure being broken to the upside. Boom. 15.618. Take profit, 1 hit. Oh shit. Let me take this out of the way. There you go. I think it's confusing the fuck out of me. So boom. We did hit take profit 1 for 15 pips. We did come back down. We got back in here again. Remember, it's risky QP here. So we could have scalped this to the next QP for 25 pips, of course, QP to QP. Okay, now let's go to the 1 hour. And we do have market structure on the 1 hour being broken to the upside. This candle closing above this one. So as you guys can see, we had more confluences to the upside. QP rejections, doom, doom, doom. Look at that. After our 618.50 entry on that morning star, could have rolled that thing up to our 618 for 65 pips. Before we came right back down. We came back to test this zone again, but we can't really enter here again because that's ridiculous. We already had new higher highs. Boom, 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 boom. Now let's draw some trend lines. Okay. Let's start from here. Look at that. Broke through, came, retested with that little confluence there. Remember guys, much confluences. So that was also a big confluence to this trade. Beautiful. Right there. All right, what other trend lines can we put? Let's put this ascending trend line. Okie dokie. So whatever, since we do have this trend line here, from here to here, boom, we broke through, broke back up again, broke back under, retested, closed under. So confluences are to the downside on this one. Remember guys, always look at the bigger picture. So look at this. Wham. We could have got in right here. We had a 50 QP trendline rejection, 618. Boom. This was a beautiful ass trade, honestly. And this hit for 90 pips. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We did break market structure to the upside. This candle closing above all this one. Let's clean this up a little bit. Bring that to the future. Ha, perfect. All right. So at this point, we can drag this trend line over here. And look at that. We broke up. Remember, it's always good to identify the market structure breaks to the upside. Always remember that. So here we have this continuation, a little, retracement here to this Dawn chain channel. Remember guys, I'm still trying to perfect this. And boom, we did skyrocket, closed above this trend line. We retested it, and boom. If we would have tried to run our Fibonacci's from here to here, we were in a shitty situation. Look at that. Hella drawdown. How many pips? Oh my god, look at that. We would have been literally stopped out. But remember guys, when we're very, very close to our QP, we always drag a little bit under so that we're in the safe zone. But since we like to look at the higher time frames always, just to help us out, let's look at the 4 hour. And look at that. If we would have dragged this to here on the 4 hour, this would have been our entry. Now let's go back to the 1 hour and let's see what that looks like. Boom, right there. Confluence. Oh shit. Confluence, and we broke above, retested this trend line a lot. Could have gone in, take profit 4, fucking smashed. 150 pips. Psychologically, this would have been very difficult, but as time goes by, a lot of back testing, you guys will see when you guys put most of your confluences together in the higher time frames that they do play out. So we did break above, test this one. We did break under, we test this one also, but we did have some, what can we call this? I guess some, this is just basically telling you, hey, look, it's a struggle trying to go down, I guess. A little struggle trying to go down. Let's go to the 15 minutes, see if we can find an entry in that. To the upside. Not really an entry, to be honest. We don't have any new lower lows, which is pretty good. But on our 15 minute, we don't have any entries. We really don't. So not really nothing to see there. Let's go to the 30 minute and see what is good. See if we can find something there on the 30 minute. And again, nothing on the 30 minute. Just that morning star right there. Let's highlight that morning star. See what it looks like on the 15 minute. Boom. Bullish engulfing candles. Check that out on the 1 hour. A bullish engulfing candle at this close. So basically, this would have been risky. We could have got in right here and we would have rolled this up to this Fibonacci for that take profit 4, which was currently from this fib up So, which was the 140 pips. And then we consolidated like fucking shit. So, look at this. We have this trend line here. So it'd be a QP here. I don't know why there's not a QP. So look at this, guys. Multiple QPs actually. That's right. Let's put these QPs really quick. That's why backtesting is very important, because if you miss this in the live during the week, you come back, see what you could have caught. So that way when it happens again, you're prepared. So look at this. We have this trend line here. It was broken, rejected, huge bearish engulfing candle. Boom. We had a retest of this trend line with this QP. We could have scalped this. QP to QP. Right there. 25 points. Before we rejected again, rejected again, rejected again. Then we came back down. Could have found an entry on the 15-minute. Let's see if we have an entry. And no, we really don't have an entry. The only entry would be this one right here. Which did hit take profit 1. But very ugly. We don't trade, you know, during this consolidation. We get out. But we did hit 14 pips before we consolidated like fucking hell, as you guys can see. And then we shot down to take profit 3. Wow. 18 hours later. It's fucking ridiculous. Go back to the 1 hour. Same clean entry. Look at that. Could have scalped this here. Boom. 33 pips. So take profit 3. 25 pips on the scalp. So that is GJ. Guys, a little weekly recap there. Let's look at the 4 hour. And yeah, guys, we're just in some ridiculous consolidation. You know, remember, guys, we always want to look at the higher time frames. Always. Let's see. Trying to find something. Nope. No, that's not it. Nope. Ooh. Forex rod method right there. Beautiful. Anyways, guys, that was GJ. Not much, but like I said, guys, it was very risky week, very terrible. But you know, as time, what the fuck, as time comes on, you know, this will happen to you guys. Perfect. So as long as you guys, you know, just take a break, study, backtest, you know, just basically get an understanding with this pair. You know, you can conquer consolidation. You know what I'm saying? But we stay away from those, so never trade it. Anyways, guys, Daniel Savage, your father, I'm out.